Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Willie, and this is the encouraging word for today. The other day, my wife and I were in the house. We were in the kitchen preparing some food for ourselves. And my wife happened to go into the living room, and she looked out of the window. And at the window, she could see a man walking down the stairs. He had been at the front door, and he was walking down the stairs, and he was carrying flowers. So she went and opened the door, and it was a beautiful bouquet of flowers for Mother's Day from our daughter. And what the man was getting ready to leave. You see, our doorbell does not work, and the screen door, the glass door, was locked, so he couldn't knock on the door. And apparently he had been standing there, ready to give us the flowers, give my wife the flowers, and we didn't know he was there. But my wife saw he was there, opened the door, and she was able to receive the flowers. Satan has a strategy. His strategy is to keep you from knowing the truth. He doesn't want you to know the truth. And the truth that he doesn't want you to know is that Jesus is coming back and that he's at the door waiting. He's at the door. He doesn't want you to know that. And that's the main truth that Satan doesn't want anyone to know, that Jesus can come back at any moment. Now, if you think about it, it's a truth that is not preached that often. It's not preached that often. I mean, I'm guilty of that same omission. I have not preached that often either. The focus of most preaching is on this life, how to live a better life, and that's fine. How to get saved, that's the most important thing. But Jesus is coming back. It's not preached. It's not believed. Yes, most Christians will say, yeah, Jesus is coming back. I know that. But we don't live with an anticipation, with an expectation that he is coming back. In fact, he's at the door. He's at the door, and he's going to come any moment, any day. We don't know the time or the hour or the day or the season, but he is ready to come. Now, what we believe affects how we live. So if we really don't believe Jesus is coming at any moment, I mean, sometimes we think, well, something really incredible has to happen, then we'll believe that Jesus is almost here. So when there's a war or a tornado, there are people who say, oh, Jesus is coming. You see, that's nonsense. Jesus is ready to come right now. But Satan wants you not to believe that. Maybe intellectually you believe it, but he doesn't want you to believe it with your head and your heart so that it affects your life, so that you're anticipating him coming, so that you're ready. Because if my wife had known the guy was at the door with the flowers, she would have been ready to receive them. She almost missed it. So we would be ready to receive Jesus. And not only that, we would be reaching people who are lost, friends, family, people we connect with, because they're not ready. And if Jesus comes when they're not ready, that's it for them. So Jesus is preparing his disciples in Matthew 24, one of his longest teachings on his second coming, his coming again in judgment. He's preparing his disciples, and he's preparing us with the truth. And the truth is that Jesus' return is imminent. That means it could happen at any moment. And you must be ready. And you must be doing what he has asked you to do. So in Matthew 24, he's explaining when he comes back. And he gives all different kinds of signs. You can read the whole chapter and you'll see that. And then he gets to the verse in chapter 24 of Matthew, verse 32 through 34, and Jesus says this: "Now learn this lesson from the fig tree. As soon as its twigs get tender and its leaves come out, you know that summer is near. Even so, when you see all these things, you know that it is near, right at the door," his second coming, right at the door. "Truly I tell you, this generation will certainly not pass away until all these things have happened." Amazing verse. And it's the key to understand Jesus' second coming. So he says, now learn this lesson from the fig tree. Now we're familiar maybe not with fig trees, but with trees. Where I live in New Jersey right now, it's the end of the winter. It's spring is here, and we're waiting for the summer. We have one day this week that was in the 80s, and then it's back down to the 50s and 60s. Cold. It could even snow at this time of year where I live. But we know, we see evidence that the summer is near. In fact, it's here. We don't think, well, the summer's not coming. We say, yeah, the summer's coming very soon, because I see buds on the trees. I see the animals running around, coming to life, so to speak. The grass has been growing green like crazy, and I have to cut it. We see all these signs. We know the summer is here. What day it will come and be fully here, maybe next Thursday, maybe the next Saturday. We don't know the precise day, the moment, but we know and we're sure it's imminent. It's coming. And so we get prepared. I put in an air conditioner in the bedroom. I've taken some of my summer clothes out. Soon I'll be wearing short-sleeved shirts. We get ready because we know it's here. It's not exactly here yet, but we know it could come tomorrow, the next day. It's here. So he says, you know that summer is near. Even so, in other words, in the same way, you know that my coming is near. Even so, when you see all these things, and when he says all these things, he's talking about all these signs that he has given. Wars, rumors of wars, persecution, false prophets, all of those things that he's listed. All of those things have already happened. They've all happened already. So he said, when you see those things, you know that he's right at the door. And then he says this, and this is a verse I never understood properly. He says, truly, I tell you, this generation will certainly not pass away until all these things have happened. I used to think, well, Jesus didn't come back and that generation died out. So that's not true. But he says, this generation will not pass away until all these things have happened. What things? All those signs that he mentioned. And all those things happened in Jesus's generation. All of those things happened. Every single one of them happened. And go back and read it. Every one of those happened. There was persecution. There were false prophets. There were disagreements. All of those things happened. So that already happened. Nothing else needs to happen. Jesus is at the door. Summer is here. The man with the flowers is at the door. Be ready. Be busy doing what God wants you to do. Now is the time to be ready. My call, my job is to tell you to be ready with all my heart, because I'm responsible to let you know to be ready, because he is at the door. Your responsibility is to tell those you know to be ready, because he's at the door. And I don't know about you, but I want to start to live ready every day with anticipation and with expectation, with my heart ready to receive that knock on the door. God bless you, and I will see you on Friday.